Hello students, welcome everyone for your online session. Today we will be starting with the paper 6.7, that is paper 7 in applied zoology, your 6th semester zoology syllabus. And in this we will be starting with unit 2. In the last parts we have completed unit 1 and this is epidemiology of diseases. In that part 1, transmission, prevention and control of diseases. And in this you will be studying about introduction about the epidemiology, what is the definition, aim, principle and applications of epidemiology. Along with that you will be studying the transmission, prevention and control of the two diseases, that is TB and typhoid. Okay, these are the common diseases usually. So what is epidemiology? So epidemiology is the study of diseases of population. Okay, population, human population ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರುವಂಥ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಪಿಡಮಾಲಜಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಪಿಡಮಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಕಾಸೇಷನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕಾಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ is getting transmitted from one person to another person or from one organism to another organism, maybe from animal to human or from human to animal or from human to human or from animal to animal. Okay, then outbreak investigation. Okay, what is the reason of outbreak? Okay, there are many deaths due to the diseases. Why? What is the reason? That investigation and disease surveillance, how can you control it and how it can be prevented. All these are the terms which deals in the epidemiology. Okay, now aims and principles of epidemiology. So the principal aim of the epidemiology is to identify the factors related to the occurrence of the disease. Okay, why this disease has been occurred, you are studying those factors and factors which are the reasons for the occurrence of the disease. Okay, and then its aim is to contribute to knowledge in support of clinical medicine and community medicine. Okay, it mainly concentrates on clinical medicine for the different diseases which are occurring in a population, and community medicine. What is community? Now you are getting a vaccine, COVID vaccine, so this has to be given in a large number. Okay, and community ge medicine kodtira. Then third is identification of these factors, both casual. Okay, you'll identify these factors. Okay, what are the factors here related to the occurrence, and identification of these factors, both unusual, both in the sense causes na, what are the causes, factors which lead to the causing of a disease, that, and then risk factors enable to develop a rational basis for prevention. Why we have to know the factors, what are the reasons or what are the causes ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ತಿಳಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, how will you prevent those factors, disease. For that reason we need the causes. Okay, then epidemiology is a methodological discipline. It offers principles and practical guidelines for the creation of new quantitative evidence about health related phenomena. Okay, it is mostly concentrated on health related phenomena. Then applications. Okay, what are the uses of epidemiology and in which and all fields this application is being used. Epidemiological studies are also used to identify risk factors which may represent critical control points in the food production system. Okay, we identify the risk factors which are having different effects in food production system, and then the application of this study is to control of diseases and other health problems, used for the disease surveillance and to identify the hazards. Okay, biggest reasons and biggest spread reasons. Then epidemiology has helped to develop methodology used in clinical research, public health studies, etc. Then for the basic research in the biological sciences, it is also used for basic biological scientific researchers. Okay, then we'll study about the diseases, the transmission, prevention and control of the two diseases. First we'll start with tuberculosis. Okay, what is tuberculosis? It is commonly called as TB anta karitivi. It is an infectious disease that usually affects the lungs. Okay, and contagious in the sense it is highly spreading from one person to another person, and it is caused by, what is the causative organism means, it is a bacteria called as Mycobacterium tuberculosis, MTB. Here you can see the normal lung, and this is the on the left side, this is the right side and left side, you can see the lung which is affected by the bacteria. Okay, this is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Then symptoms. What are the symptoms of tuberculosis? So high cough, okay, continuous cough, high cough, fever, night sweats, weight loss, feeling sick or weak, appetite, loss of appetite, okay. Then weight loss, severe weight loss will be there, okay. You can see only skeleton in the persons who are there, okay, having this particular disease. Then chills, chest pain because of the lung infection, they feel the pain in the chest region. Then the liver and the kidneys can impair in the waste filtration, okay. Filtration of the liver and the kidneys may be having a problem here. This lead to discharge of blood in the urine. Because of this, urine may be having a blood discharge, okay. Then the heart's ability decreases to pump the blood, resulting in the cardiac dependent, okay, tapenade, and the condition is fatal, okay. Because of the ability loss in or decrease in the ability to pump the blood, okay, as the blood is not getting pumped, okay, properly, there are some conditions related to the heart. There may be some ailments related to the heart, and then it may be sometimes, if severe problem occurs, it may be fatal also, okay. Then transmission, how the disease will be transmitted from one person to another person. This spread through the air, okay. When people who have active TB in their lungs, if they cough, if they spit, if they speak, or if they sneeze, laugh, or talks people with latent, okay, it may be spread through aerosols, okay. Then active infection occurs more often in the people those who smoke, okay. Though the person who is smoking is more prone to this particular disease. Then prevention, how do you prevent this disease? Early detection and treatment of the cases is useful, and vaccination with the Bacillus calmette-guerin, okay, BCG vaccine. This is very important, okay. Bacillus calmette-guerin is the vaccine which is given for the TB, okay. Then those, you know that in the early age ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, okay, to within 3 or 5 days of the birth. Then those at high risk include household, workplace, and social contacts of people with active TB, okay, who are at high risk, those who come with contact of TB patients, okay. Treatment requires the use of multiple antibiotics over a long period of time. You need many antibiotics, not only one, and for a long time. Then wearing a mask, covering the mouth, and ventilating rooms can also limit the spread of bacteria. Then how will you control? Control is efforts rely primarily on the vaccination of the infants, okay, that is being already done by the government. Then detection and appropriate treatment of the active cases, okay. Then rifampicin, isoniazid, streptomycin in combination, these are used as a antibiotic treatment for the TB. Then coming to, this is the picture which is showing you the symptoms, signs and symptoms of active tuberculosis, okay. As I have told you, all these are there, okay. Next, typhoid. It is a common disease, okay, and it is highly seen in many people, usually at the onset of the monsoon, okay. Typhoid is caused by the bacteria called as Salmonella typhi, and this is the structure of the bacteria Salmonella typhi, okay. And here the place where you can see the bacteria, it grows in the intestine and in the blood. It will multiply in the intestine as well as in the blood cells. Then typhoid fever is also simply called as typhoid, also known as bacterial infection due to Salmonella typhi, okay. How it is getting transmitted? It is also is a serious bacterial infection and spread by eating food or drinking water with the contaminated fecus of an infected person, okay. Then only humans can be infected, no animals from here. Risk factors include poor sanitization and poor hygiene. Then it is also spread through utensils contaminated with Salmonella typhi. Without proper washing of the foods, vegetables, fruits, utensils, cloths and all, it will spread. Also transmitted by contaminated water which is used for washing the fruits and vegetables. Next is symptoms. What are the symptoms? These are very common symptoms. It may vary from mild to severe and usually begin 6 to 30 days after exposure, okay. Often there is a gradual onset of a high fever over several days. Then you can see weakness, abdominal pain, constipation, that is difficulty in passing the stool, and then headaches, and commonly you can see the common factors like this. Then diarrhea is uncommon. Vomiting is not usually severe, okay. Diarrhea may occur. Some people develop a skin rash with rose colored spots, particularly on the neck and abdomen, that we call this as common rabies, okay. Then Typhoid fever is a type of enteric fever. The fever is particularly high, gradually increasing over several days up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 39 to 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, here you can see the symptoms which I have told you in a form of graphics and pictures here. So sorry, rashes. These are the, I said rabies. No, it is rashes. Okay, and high fever, headache, weakness, dry cough, stomach pain, constipation. All these are the different reasons. Symptoms. Then prevention. How will you prevent a disease? You have to boil or disinfect water before drinking. Then you can use disinfectant tablets or liquid available in pharmacies. Then peel all fruit and vegetable skins before eating, and you have to keep flies away from the food. Okay, so you should not allow house flies, small fruit flies to come and sit on the, I can say, fruit eating substances. Okay, and then cook all the food thoroughly and eat it while it's not hot, or okay, while it's hot. We have to eat hot substances usually. Okay, and then prevented by clean drinking water, good sanitization and hand washing. Disease can also be prevented with antibiotics such as azithromycin, fluoroquinolones or third generation cephalosporin. Next, control of the typhoid disease. Effective control measures for typhoids are antibiotics. The most commonly used are ciprofloxacin. Okay, it is used for non-pregnant adults, and ceftriaxone. It is important to rehydrate by drinking adequate water. Okay, this time you need to have more water, plenty of water, and more water, fruit juices, liquid substances. Okay, then the treatment of choice is a fluoroquinolones such as ceftriaxone or cefotaxime. Cefixime is a suitable alternative for oral administration. It can be taken as in the form of a tablet. Then antibiotics such as ampicillin, chloramphenicol, then trimethoprim, sulfamethoxazole, then amoxicillin and ciprofloxacin have been commonly used to treat the typhoid fever. People with severe typhoid also may be treated with glucocorticoids such as dexamethasone. Okay, in severe conditions only you need to go for glucocorticoids. It may be having many side effects, so usually we prefer for the antibiotics. Okay, doctors will prefer for the antibiotics. So this is about your diseases. Okay, so you have studied the epidemiology, aims and prevention of the epidemiology. Okay, and then what are the applications of epidemiology, and we have started with tuberculosis, the causative organism, prevention, transmission and control. Then typhoid's causative organism, its prevention, transmission and control. With this we have completed the unit. Okay, that is unit 2. So thank you students.